Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my stitching update. If you saw the frame the couple seconds before this, I was taking a page from Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts. She usually will have a snippet in the beginning of her video where music is playing and she'll put some captions down there. She's drinking coffee, she's fixing whatever she's going to be talking about. I forgot I actually had these glasses. If you remember my video from last year, I wore them around Valentine's Day and I was completely bald during that time. So, and these put like a pink hue, like I could not wear them through the whole video. It just, no. But yeah, they're cute, right? I think I got them for like $2 or something on Amazon. But yeah, I'm recording this on Valentine's Day. You guys will not see it until the day after. But happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I woke up and my husband had put this card, he's a really good card picker, and a bag of Hershey Kisses, my favorite chocolate. I just like the plain chocolate. I don't need anything fancy. Bag of Hershey Kisses next to my Keurig because he knows when I get up, I'm going right for the coffee. So, of course I have my Starbucks. This is one of my favorite mugs. My Starbucks mug from, I want to say, it's 2007. I mean, this is old. This is like 9 or 10 years old. But yeah, it's like raised. So it has love and then it goes all the way around and then has 2 hearts. I got this in a Valentine's swap I did with someone. So, what has been going on this week? If you watch my Stitch With Me video, I've been plugging away at the ink circles piece and I'll show you in a bit. I am almost done that. I really hope to be done by the end of the week. I have a couple notes here. Oh, a little Valentine's Day story though. Back when I was in college, I worked, I know I've said this before, I went to school full-time and I worked full-time and I paid for it myself. Really hard 4 years. That was probably one of the hardest times I've had in my life besides last year. But I worked at a party store. So the job was actually fun, but I worked a lot of hours, 30 to 40 hours a week there. So Valentine's Day was like our Super Bowl. Like we worked from 6 in the morning on that day until 10 o'clock at night because we had to make balloon things and you couldn't make those the day before because they would be deflated, right? But we had deliveries, we had chocolates, we had all kinds of stuff. So, my husband, remember we lived in the same town well past high school. You know, we lived across the street in school. His parents moved to a different neighborhood when we were seniors, I think. And for 20 years, we never ran into each other in the town, which is amazing because our town really is not that big. So here I am a couple days before Valentine's Day, and I don't know, I'm 20, 21, something like that. And here he comes in. And, you know, we were like, oh my God, hi, because I hadn't seen him in probably 2 or 3 years since school. At that point, he was dating his first wife. So a lot of people would come in and they would get what was called a stuffer balloon. It was a big balloon. We had this special machine for that would really open up the neck of the balloon like really wide that you could put stuff in. They were big around graduation. Valentine's Day, people wanted stuffed animals. You would put a stuffed animal in it, candy, anything, and then you would hot glue it to a base of smaller balloons. And then you would put ribbon and bows around the top. Excuse me. So he came in and he wanted one of those for his girlfriend at that time. It was before he was married to her. And I was the one that made it. And when him and I got together, you know, we were talking about what our life would have been going on. And he was like, yeah, do you remember that balloon thing that you made, you know, 15 years ago? Yeah, that was for Cindy. That was for his first wife. And so today when I talked to him on the phone this morning, he brought that up again and we were just dying laughing. I mean, what are the odds that here I am making something for his first wife and then we're married 15 years after that? I just thought that was really, really crazy. So, I've had a couple people ask me, now that I'm stitching on Aida pretty much exclusively, how I deal with fractional stitches. Fractional stitches can be done on Aida, but it's a little tricky. And so I wanted to show you, if you remember last year, I stitched this on Aida. This is Solo Toi from Nora Corbett. And this is a hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie, I want to say it's Iris. This is 16 count Aida. If you look really close, her face on the edges, like right here, there's fractionals, her whole skin, like all around here, you know, they do fractionals to make them look rounded, you know, more accurate. So it's not impossible, it's just prickly, it is just tedious. So if you want me to do a tutorial, a video on it, I will. I can do a close-up shot and show you how I do it. So let me know in the comments down below if anyone's interested in me doing that. Okay, I have one OMG moment this week, and it is a Mirabilia. Mirabilia is red. I've always been in love with this project. I will probably never stitch it, but I admire it from afar. Beverly, and I don't know her last name, she did hers in blue. Oh my God. Here is the picture. I looked at that for probably 5 minutes. I mean, literally just staring at it. Just gorgeous shades of blue that she chose. And that thing has a hell of a lot of beads, because I saw someone at a lock-in one time stitching it. Oh my God, the beads on that. But yeah. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, I decided to this year send out Valentines. I did not mention it on my channel before I sent them out. I wanted it to be a surprise to the people that I chose. I sent out 30 of them. Now, this was totally on a whim. I was in Hobby Lobby and I saw them and I went, wouldn't that be awesome to send out Valentines and put a skein of 666 in there? Because if some of you don't know, like Pam and Steph didn't quite know why I had sent 666. Is it my signature color? I don't know, but we all remember, right, the Bird Lady story. Really quick, that was a hella hot mess in that stitching store that day. But the reason why 666 has become like a big joke is because someone behind me in line was picking out 666 for the edge of their flat fold. And this woman who had been annoying the friggin' piss out of me the whole time in the store, I have to find the video where I told that story and link it down below. She pipes up. Now, no one is even talking to this woman. We're checking out. We're in line. She pipes up and says, oh, I never stitch with 666 because that's the devil's color, or something like that. I thought to myself, are you freaking kidding me right now? So that has been like a big joke ever since then, 666. So that is why, plus it's red for Valentine's Day, and it's a really bright, beautiful red. So I sent out 30 of them. Now, I don't want anyone to feel slighted who didn't get one. It was hard for me to narrow it down to 30. I'm sorry I couldn't send one to every one of my subscribers, everyone who comments on a regular basis, because I would have loved to have done that. Sending out 30 was a huge undertaking, and I didn't even realize how much of an undertaking it would be until I sat down to actually do it. So I sit down one Saturday night, we're watching TV, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do the Valentines. He's like, okay. So I have the floss. Now, I had to buy separate envelopes because envelopes did not come with the Valentines. So I bought the pink envelopes because they came in like a bright pink, or I bought a bright pink envelope. So not only did I have to put our address label, a stamp, and handwrite the address, and I had to get some people's addresses, I didn't have them all. I had to put the skein of floss in the envelope, seal it, But the Valentines, holy crap. I did not know. I thought they were cute. They were cats and dogs, and they came with like a little tattoo, and I was like, oh my God. Do you realize the giant pain in my ass that actually was? You had to punch out. The Valentines were perforated. So I had to punch them all out. And then the tattoos were all perforated. Then I had to punch all them out. And because they had plastic over them, they were harder to punch to pull off. But here came the tricky part. On the Valentine, it had like 2 slits where you slipped in the tattoo. It took me, I felt like I was performing brain surgery trying to do this because you could very easily tear the edge of the Valentine trying to get the tattoo in there. This took me like 5 hours. And I finally said to my husband, my God, can you please help me with this? If I hand you the Valentine, can you put it in the right envelope and seal it? So my husband aided in all of that. But I'm so glad I did it because everyone has loved it and it was a surprise. So that was like the biggest thing I wanted to do. I love to give back to this community because this community has given me such great gifts, friendships. So anytime an idea pops into my head like that, I run with it. But I will maybe think twice about doing something like that next time because holy crap, like I said, 5 hours. 5 hours on a Saturday night to do that. So, okay. I watch on YouTube a lot of other YouTubers besides Flosstube. One of my favorite ones that I have recently stumbled upon is Alonzo Larone. His niche, his thing that he does is he will look at Twitter fails, Facebook fails, people who do not know how to type, grammar, just horrible spelling, and he reads them out and he comments, and it's so hilarious. I love him. I love him when I need like just something funny to watch. So I will link his channel down below. Trust me when I say you will feel like friggin' Albert Einstein after you watch his videos. You will feel like a genius. I'm serious. You will. Because some of the people, the things that they type, how can you type that? And then you're reading it back as you type it, right? Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, what has been going on in the cross-stitch world this week? The biggest, B-I-G piece of news. Lizzie Kate is retiring. She has been in the cross-stitch industry for 22 years. That's quite a long time. So, she is retiring at the end of March. Her spring smalls will be the last set of patterns that come out. And once they're sold, meaning once her patterns are sold from suppliers, there are not going to be any more released or anything. And Jill and I were texting and I said, oh my God, do you realize the insanity that is going to happen? That, first of all, anybody selling them after they're depleted from the cross-stitch stores, the prices are going to be sky high. I currently only have a handful of Lizzie Kates in my stash. I cleaned out a bunch and I've stitched a bunch. There are a ton of other designers out there, so I didn't panic when I heard it, but most people will. I'm sure people did. Is she going to be missed? Absolutely, because she has some great designs, great patterns, so it is going to be sad to not see her in the Just Cross Stitch issues and to have her releasing, because man, she released a lot of stuff every single year. But that craziness that people like start to panic and stuff, it brings me to another little topic. Let's talk about Clay by Kim. If you do not know who Clay by Kim is, she is a clay artist and she makes needle minders and what she calls fairy doors. And she makes the dragons that I like. Okay, the dragon ones where you put the needle inside of the needle minder. So, she was on vacation for a week or two. She had put on Instagram, that's how I discovered her. I followed her on Instagram. She had put on Instagram that she was coming back from vacation on February 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And she had shown some sneak peeks and she was going to have a St. Patrick's Day dragon. And I thought, I've got to get one of those because I've been collecting them. I really like them. So I I told Jill, I'm setting my alarm for 5 minutes beforehand so I am on Etsy because her stuff goes really quick. So I'm sitting on Etsy at that time, refresh. I mean, I must have refreshed like 25 times. And then finally stuff was popped up. She had like 7 or 8 of those dragons. So I click on it, I'm checking out. It gives me an error and says it was already sold. This happened to me 3 times. And so I didn't get one. I didn't get one because people were able to check out faster than me. And I was so mad in that moment. I texted Jill and said, well, that friggin' sucked. And I explained. And then after I texted her and I sat there for a minute, I thought, what am I doing? Am I insane? Why am I getting so upset at not being able to get something that is probably going to sit on my magnet board for a long time and not even be used? I mean, I have 3 other dragons on there and they're currently just sitting there. And I thought, it's madness. It is really, I'm not doing it anymore. I am not going to be fighting for these limited edition things. I'm not doing it. If I happen to catch a dragon on her site when I'm perusing, fine. If I don't, I don't. I said, it's madness. It truly, for me it is anyway. No more am I participating in stuff like that. Where then I'm mad. I mean, I was hot. Mad. Really, really mad. And so it was like sort of a little wake-up moment, like an aha moment. I thought, no, I'm not going to live my life that way, right? No. Okay. You all know I love Pictu This Plus Ada, and I have been wondering what is the secret to the softness of their Ada. Well, I actually went on their website, which I don't know why I didn't do this before, and I looked at their About page. And I printed out, so I'm going to read it to you because I think this is the key to why their fabrics are so soft. Now, there was a question that said, they have a questions posted on that, and I think it's about, or it's one of the options up at the top of their webpage. Are your fabrics washable? Yes, we use our washing machine and hot water to wash the fabrics before they're dyed, and then again after the dyeing process. I think most dyers do that. But here is where I think the magic happens, but they really haven't divulged what they use. It says, are your dyed fabrics color fast? And they said yes. We use chemicals to bind the dye to the fibers and to stop the dyeing reaction. Then we wash, here's the key, listen closely. Then we wash the fabrics with a special detergent that removes loose dye. The brightest and darkest colors are rinsed many times to try and get out all the unbound dye. So they use, now I could probably start putting in Google detergent that removes, what the? I hear music, I'm filming in my kitchen. I hear music outside that is playing in someone's car. It is loud as hell. I'm not even going to go on a tangent because that is a pet peeve of mine. Ridiculous. So ridiculous. Okay. So, obviously, there is a special detergent that they use, and I haven't tried to research what that would be. Yeah, so there you go with that. Because I'm telling you, they do. They have the softest Ada anywhere. Another piece of cross-stitch news this week is, you know, I mentioned briefly the Mermaid Salad that was supposed to be between Color Cascade Fabrics and Shannon Christine Designs, and that was dissolved. A bit of drama there. Well, literally a day or two after that was brought to light that it wasn't happening, Fiberlicious, who I love Fiberlicious fabrics. I can speak. You know I love their fabrics. So I'm on their mailing list, and I received an email that said, welcome to our Treasures of the Deep Mermaid Sal between us and Shannon Christine Designs. I would have liked to have seen my face when I saw that email. And I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, but what is even more surprising, I printed it out. Here is a little snippet of what the SAL is going to look like completed. And this is the first block right here. It is hella expensive. I personally am not going to participate in it. So it says, attention mermaid lovers. We are very pleased to announce that we have teamed up with Shannon Christine Designs to bring you an amazing and exclusive stitching adventure that you are dreaming of. The whole project measures 143 stitches wide by 209 stitches tall. And if you pre-order, because it does not start, it starts actually the day I'm releasing this video. It starts on February 15th and it runs through January 31st of next year because they release one piece per month. If you get the pattern before the SAL is over, it's $36 just for the pattern. But here's the kicker. After the SAL is over, the pattern goes up to $60. No. What? I was like, oh my God. And not only that, the fabric they recommend you buy is Maldivian Dreams, which is a beautiful piece of fabric. Jill actually stitched her solo toile on that fabric. So the fabric is $16. Beads for it, there are 66 crystals, 1 bugle bead, and 12 seed beads. That's a total of $48. 5 spools of Krynic for $17.50. So without adding in the DMC, you are looking at $117.50. And I don't know how many colors are in it, but I kind of tried to work it out. Like it's probably at least 20 colors, right? So there's $10. So you're looking at between $130 and $150 for doing that project. And if you break it down to, you know, per month, yeah, just to give you guys but yeah, there was some hubbub about that when that came out because, yeah. All right, let's get into what have I been working on this week? I've only been working on one project. Working on, let me move my coffee out of the way before I start showing that. Been working on the Ink Circles Dark Shards. You guys know I am using the recommended DMC, stitching it on Picture This Plus 14 count Aida in Heroic. I'm so close, I can taste the finish. You guys see what I have to get done. Not very much. And man, does that look good on camera. Yeah, you see all the white spots? That's what, all I'm doing is filling in now. That's all I'm doing. Just filling it in. I had quite a bit of issue with this project at the beginning of this week. No, last week. I had stitched, I wanted to do the whole outline of the bottom part. You know, stitching the 823. That hurts my arms holding that up. So, let me fold it because I'll be able to at least tell you. Maybe I can. So I had stitched, I went to a stitch night where I met some ladies for dinner and we went to someone's house to stitch. And so I started stitching the outline. Well, I had stitched quite a bit. I'd gotten to like here. Well, when I got home that night or the next night, I can still hear that friggin' music. I went and did the rest of the outline. And then I get over here and something's not matching up and I went, oh my God. I had made a mistake like way back here. I had to tear out a large section. Okay, did that. So then I tried to restitch and I keep going and over here I find a mistake. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Was I drunk when I was trying to stitch this? No, I was probably trying to stitch and talk. And you know sometimes that does not go well. So I had to tear all that out. I basically started over from scratch, like I had stitched nothing at that stitch night. So then I'm stitching. I finally get it all correct. I get down to like right here and I run out of DMC 823. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I used 2 full skeins of DMC 823 on this project. Just a word to the wise if you're gonna stitch it. And then I went to Michael's the next day and got it. But yeah, So I am really hoping to be done this week. A viewer and Instagram follower, Sarah, who is a woodworker, she is making me a custom frame for this for free. So I'm going to frame it, and she's going to do it in the purple, which is DMC 3041. She sent me a snapshot of it, and it looks really good. So I can't wait to get that, and I'll do a finish with me video to show you guys me framing it, because I got some other framing tools. But yeah, that is all that I've worked on this week because I just want to get it done. Now, gifts. I do have a few gifts this week. 2. I received a card from my friend Arlene Grimm, Valentine's Day card, and the heart's glittery. I don't know if you can see that. But she likes to send me little gifts here or there. She was the one that sent me something every single week last year when I was going through treatment. She sent me this bumper sticker she got from the LL Bean. Okay, so it looks like it says Bean Outsider. If you look closely, be an outsider. I really like that because, yeah, I read something yesterday that it really resonated with me. Let me think, what did it say? It said, be you, not them. Meaning, be yourself. You know, not anybody else. Not trying to conform to anybody else. So, that music, oh my God, it's still playing. Sometimes I really hate the neighborhood that I live in. So the second gift that I received was from Michelle, who is Maine Moose Stitching on Instagram. She sent me a lovely handwritten card inside there. But she sent me this Lizzie Kate Flip It, and how perfect was that? Because now Lizzie Kate retiring, it is the March Flip It, and she thought this would be good for the cubby. Absolutely. And I actually think, because the buttons aren't in here, I think I'm actually going to try to find gold buttons. And I found actually gold hearts on scrapbooking.com that I might try to use as like the gold stuff coming out. But isn't that awesome? Yeah, I don't have that. So she sent me that. And then she sent me this Prairie Schooler Fall Fields, probably because there's a fox there. But I actually really like the squirrel too. So these would be also good cubby finishes. I won't stitch all these, but I like the fox and the squirrel and the bunny. So she sent me those. And then she also sent me a needle minder. Ah! Do not have that. Look at that cutie fox. And this is from Flying Frog Stitchery. Yeah, love that. And then she sent me, really? The music stopped. That was my neighbor. My neighbor is a roofer, and he's such a nice guy and a hard worker. Was that really him playing that music in his truck like that? Okay. She sent me a piece of fabric flare fabric, 14 count Aida, and it's called May Blues. It's gorgeous. And you know what's funny? You could choose to use either side. I just realized that. Okay, so here's this side, purpley, whatever. But if you were so inclined, you could stitch on that side. Look, it's like a totally different fabric. And I just realized that. But yeah, I really like the purple side. Obviously, I love purple. So yeah. So Michelle, thank you so much. Love all of it. And purchases. I do not have many purchases this week. I did receive, still waiting for some fabric orders. One shipped from Fiberlicious. I had ordered, I think, 2 pieces. One of my orders from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie shipped because I had placed like 2 or 3 separate orders. And still waiting for the Picture This Plus order from 123 Stitch and from Picture This Plus directly. So lots of fabric going to be shown in the future on these videos as soon as I can get them. And they should be shipping pretty soon because it has been almost a month since I placed those orders. But anyway, okay. I did purchase 2 mugs this week. I have been obsessed with Rae Dunn now that, you know, from seeing Priscilla and Chelsea. But I got this one. And I got this because I saw it and I was like, you know what? Sometimes I have to say this to myself 1 billion times a day. Don't we all feel like that sometimes? You've got this. Whatever it is, we've got it. I've got it. I can handle it. Yeah. So got that. And then Society 6 is a popular art site that will do mouse pads, t-shirts, mugs. Jill sent me a link where they were having a 30% off sale, and I was like, dang it, I had to stop looking. I wanted like every mug on that site. I bought one mug. Are you kidding? Yeah, had to have that. Nope. Say that more than anything I say in a day. But yeah, so it's written on both sides, and I really liked how it's with the flowers and everything. Yeah. And then the only other thing I got in the mail this week that was a purchase was my February needle minder from Down Sunshine Lane's Needle Minder of the Month Club, Valentine Cupcake. Oh my God, couldn't you just die? Yeah. Okay. So, last thing I want to talk about is what I've been reading. I meant to mention books last week and totally forgot. So, I finished The Wife Between Us. Ooh, good book, people. Here's the cover. It is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekanen. So, here's the premise. When you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you are reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she is obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful younger woman who is about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. Yeah, don't assume, people, because I had it wrong all the way through the book till the end. Very, very good. Highly recommend. Then I read The Perfect Nanny by Lila Slimani. So here's the premise of that. When Miriam, a French-Moroccan lawyer, decides to return to work after having children, she and her husband look for the perfect nanny for their 2 young children. They never dreamed they would find Louise, a quiet, polite, devoted woman who sings to the children, cleans the family's apartment, stays late without complaint, and hosts enviable kiddie parties. But as the couple and the nanny become more dependent on one another, jealousy, resentment, and suspicions mount. Building tension, something really horrific happens at the beginning of the book, and then you're backtracking all the way through. I hated the ending. You know, first of all, I have a couple things about a book that, for me to read it. One, it has to grab me like in the first page or forget it. Usually, the first line's got to grab me or I'm moving on, because just like with cross-stitch patterns, there are too many books to be read out there. I'm not wasting time on a book that I don't like. And second, the ending. Don't leave me hanging. Do not leave something unexplained. Just don't do it. I hated the ending. Hated, and I knew it, because when I read on my Kindle, it tells you the percentage of the book. So I'm getting to 90%, and I'm like, they better explain it. They better friggin' explain it. Nope, didn't explain it. So the book was good. It kept my interest. I read it just in a couple days, but hated that ending. So what am I reading now? Another delicious book. Gerald, I know if you're watching this, you just hated that I said that because you can't eat a book. But it is, let me grab my Kindle because I wanted to read you the first line of the book, which I was like, ugh. I have a friend, Linda. She is a reader. And when I say a reader, she's reading like 4 books a week. Her and I email back and forth because she lives about 2 or 3 hours away from me. Her and I email back and forth quite frequently. I cannot talk today. Quite frequently about books, what we're reading. She gave me a recommendation for a book called The Wife by Alifair Burke. I will link it down below. Right now I'm 30% through the book, but I want to read you, no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to read you the first sentence, which I was like, holy shit. The first sentence, in an instant, I became the woman they assumed I'd been all along, the wife who lied to protect her husband. And it makes you wonder as you read this book, would you do the same thing? Oh my God, I've just lost my place. Would you do the same thing? What the the hell? What have I done here? Okay, I'm gonna have to find my spot in a minute. Would you do the same thing that this wife is doing? What lengths would you go to protect your husband if he's done something really untoward? Basically, try to give you the premise without giving anything away. Husband and wife, they have a child. He is pretty famous. He has his own company, consulting company. He's written a book. He does a podcast. And he is basically accused of sexual impropriety. Oh, he's also a college professor. He teaches a course, and that's where it stems from. So when the allegations start to come out, how everybody deals with it. And like I said, I'm only 30% in, so I haven't even probably scratched the surface of what's really going to happen. But yeah, it's really, really good because it tells the story from the wife's perspective of it. So at least initially. So yeah, I can't wait to keep going. I read another book by Alifair Burke called The X, and that was also really good. So, but yeah, so that's it for me this week, guys. Oh, no, it's not. Giveaway. I picked a winner for the Pot of Gold Needle Minder from down Sunshine Lane, and I'm going to insert that video here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am picking the winner of the Pot of Gold Needle Minder from down Sunshine Lane. You guys really gave me some good ideas of what you would do with a pot of gold if you found it. So I'm going to YouTube and grabbing the URL of the video, putting it in here. There were 135 unique commenters, so I'm going to hit start and we're going to pick a winner. The winner is Betty Ulan. I hope I said your last name right. She said, "So pretty, you look like a fresh breath of spring." Well, thank you very much, Betty. "If I found a pot of gold, I would get all my finishes done and the rest would go to my children. Thank you for taking the time to make videos. I really appreciate the time and effort it takes." Thank you so much, Betty, for watching my videos, for commenting. Thank you to everyone who watched and entered. Betty, I will comment on your comments, so please just email me your mailing address. I will put my email in the description box below this video. Thanks, guys. Yes, congratulations to that winner. She is a person who comments quite a bit on my channel, so I was very glad to see her name come up. So as soon as she contacts me, I will mail this out to her. But that really is it for me today, guys. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.